Greetings and welcome to Madvibez Radio again. We are live and direct with Kaysha Lee. Blessed. All right, so let's just get first of all a little bit of background as to who you are and where you're coming from and what we can expect from you.
Okay. Well, my name is Kaysha Lee. I'm a young artist. I started as a piano player at 6 years old, and my parents sent me to piano lessons, and I've always been involved in music. Music has always been my first love. At 16 I was going to church, and I started to listen to some of the parents at church, and so I started a little roster of young kids, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, after church on Sundays, and from there I went to university and I did a little bit of jazz music, piano and voice, and I even sang with a gospel choir, Sharon Riley and Faith Corral. Great experience. We traveled Canada, we traveled the States. I also sang in a classical-based choir that sings Negro spirituals for a while, a few years, and we also toured Canada and the States, and we went to France as well. And after that, I had a lot of changes. My belief system started to change. I needed to really find the real Kaysha, and which is still a journey that I'm on, as we're all on in this life. But as I started to really seek out who I am and find the real Kaysha Lee, I said, the real Kaysha Lee doesn't want to be shy behind a choir anymore. The real Kaysha Lee wants to expose some of these songs that she's been writing for years, and
up front.
And so that's what I started to do 2 years ago. I said, I've been out of church for it was maybe 5 years or something, and time to push forward. I had some health issues too that held me back a little bit, but it was all growth to get to where I am now. And so 2 years ago I started to record my first couple songs, and then I said I want to do a mixtape, so I'm going to put a whole bunch of stuff together, and I did the mixtape. And it was some of it's good and some of it's a little demo quality-ish, and it was just a mesh of different stuff: R&B, hip-hop, reggae. There's dancehall, pop, all kind of things, jazz, everything meshed together, and that's why I called it Undefined, because the undefinition is just that. It's just a mesh of different music, which was me. That's how I felt myself to be. And although I'm coming from Jamaican background, both my parents are Jamaican, I think I'll always feel like this. Like, I need to express myself in many different ways. Rakas is what is at my heart, you know what I mean? And that's why I stick close to jazz and some of the more neo-soul type stuff. Those are the things that I'm close to. I love all styles of music. I'm undefined.
So very versatile.
Yes, versatile.
All right. So right now, just give us an idea of what you're working on right now. You did the mixtape, you said,
Yes.
and you're doing a show tonight. I don't know if you want to tell anybody about the little show you're in tonight.
Yes. Well, from mixtape, where do you go from here? From the mixtape, I went to Jamaica to work on some material, and so I spent the last 9 months there and to learn and grow and create some stuff. And now I'm currently working with Rory Stone Love. So I'm going to go back to Jamaica hopefully within the next month and a half. I'll be back there to continue on work with Rory. So right now I'm paper chasing. I'm looking for money, you know what I mean? I'm trying to. The industry costs money. If I need to get these things out, I need to make some money. So that's what I'm doing here in Montreal. I'm on a gig.
Yeah.
Great artist, Uncle Johnny. I'm singing backup for him. And I hope to have some other gigs and do some of my own stuff as well soon. Actually, October 1st in Toronto, I will be at Harlem Restaurant doing my own stuff. 3 sets, covers, and originals, actually.
Nice.
And I hope to work with Uncle Johnny again. We're having a great time here in Montreal.
Yeah, well, Stone Love's definitely a good link.
Yes.
They can definitely get your music out to a lot of people.
Yes.
Now, your style, you said, is very versatile, but and you said your real backbone is the roots.
Yes.
Now, when you're saying, like, any artists as you were growing up and stuff like that, did you have any that you were kind of trying to use as an example for some of your music, or did you just kind of develop your own style as you went along?
Well, I can't say that I simply developed my own style, but I want to lean close to that. this everyone involved in music is influenced by people. You know what I mean? And I definitely have my artists that I'm diehard for, and as a young child, Whitney Houston was. I was glued to the TV watching Whitney Houston
Amazing voice,
a young child, and playing her songs and etc. Mary J. Blige is someone else who I really, really looked up to. Someone from the reggae world who people kept comparing me to is Judy Mowatt, and I really, really, I really love her songs. Specifically, Black Woman. That like her voice just pierces through so strong. I love it. In recent times, Etana is a big influence. She's amazing. We were actually watching a stage show of hers on the way here, and just watching her is an education. Amazing artist. There's so many. There is so many, but I would say that why I say I lean closer to my style, creating my own thing is because I have my favorites from different genres. You know what I mean? And so I think I have created something that is me, but I don't want to discredit the people who have paved the way for me to start my own thing,
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so with your music and your lyrics, your originals, everybody has their own reason for doing music, you could say. Everybody has their own, whether it's surely entertainment, whether it's a message you're trying to get across. What would you classify your original music as?
Well, I think I was born to do music, first of all. I think I'm a person with a message. I'm very aware that what is put out there, I have to be careful of what I put out there. You know what I mean? Because they're going to drop on ears where different people are at different levels in life. You know what I mean? And some people who don't know themselves, what do you want them to suck up from you? I want them to suck up a good message. I want them to well, I'll tell you, togetherness is a big message that I have. You especially as I've been exploring Rastafari and some of the segregation, discrimination within Rasta. Not being born in Jamaica with Jamaican parents, I thought I could go down to Jamaica and have a good connection.
That easy, yeah?
No, who are you, this Canadian girl, right? You know what I mean? And I wanted to, go on some Rasta trods and learn some things and elevate. And I did do that, and I did find a good niche, but it wasn't easy, you know what I mean? Because there was a lot of discrimination in the community, who are you? And so I find that my heart is set on bringing not just the rest of the community, but the world community, a feeling of oneness amongst the world. You know what I mean? I feel like I have that within myself because, I listen to and read the teachings of, say, Buddha, and I said to myself, wow, Rasta could learn a lot from this. You know what I mean? If we could learn a lot from each other. And no, I'm not a Buddhist. You know what I mean? I don't subscribe to that. But I read their teachings and I learn from it and I use it to elevate my own life. You know what I mean? So I really feel like togetherness is something like oneness in life, elevation of life. That's where my heart is strong on. You know what I mean? And whether that be in love relationship, in friendships, in, you know what I mean? What area of life, reality, that's where I feel like I'm focused on.
Well, it's definitely a challenge, I tell you that.
Yes.
Because everybody seems to be on their own levels nowadays. Nobody's looking out for anybody else. Everybody's looking for number one,
Yep, it's true.
So, I mean, if you can portray that message across and get that message across even to a couple of people, to get that, togetherness happening, it's a good start,
Yeah.
It's a good start. So now that we got a little bit of a background of what you've done and where you're coming from, and what are we going to look out for from Kaysha?
Well, I'm working on my album. I'm not in a rush to work on my album. I'm just gonna try and get the best out of me and then pick from the conglomerate of songs. I hope to work on a set of 5 really solid songs with Rory Stonelove. That's what he would like to do. There's one-on-one producers around the place in Jamaica and Toronto that have songs to complete. Phase Fizzle Productions in Toronto is someone I'm currently working with. He has a rhythm he's going to put out. Also, Smoke Shop is putting out some stuff. I'm working with them as well, and there's a few other people. Things are, you know what I mean. I'm getting my feet wet and you know, hearing what everyone has to offer and trying to find. I don't have a team yet, so I'm just, you know, pushing forward and kind of accepting, viewing what's coming my way and dealing with it accordingly. But in my head, yes, I'm working on an album and I will get there. I'm not going to say it's next summer. It may not be. It might not even be next fall. I don't know. But I'm going to take my time and come out with a really solid product that really represents Kaysha Lee 100%.
Nice.
And that can spread out that message of togetherness, of oneness, and something that obviously I can build my career with, something that I can, you know, I can take care of my kids and my grandkids with. So.
All right. So, any advice for any of the other little artists that are trying to do their thing along the way? I mean, you're not new to the business. You've been in the business for a bit. You know, like there's a lot of them out there that are trying to do their thing, and you know, they think that they're just gonna turn around the corner, cut a record, and all of a sudden they're rich.
Yes.
Any words of advice to any of the other young and upcomings?
You know, I would say just do what you're doing. Be spirit guided. Do what you feel your heart tells you to do. Take time to slow down. You know what I mean? But at the same time, go with your vision. Do what you have to do. Be a go-getter for you. There's nobody else that is going to push for you like you will push for you. You know, like I'm here in Montreal and I have a job to do, and that is, you know, my first priority to do this job. At the same time, you know, I have my own things to do too, and I'm pushing. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm so glad that we have the time to meet. You know, and that's what I suggest artists do. Just keep pushing for you. Don't depend on somebody to do it for you. I feel like I did that for a couple months. I depended on some people, and I look back and I thought, well, wow, the presence that I had prior to that couple months just dropped off when I stopped. You know what I mean? And started to depend. So even if you have a team, push you, go for you, believe in you 100%, love yourself, so push yourself.
That's right, because at the end of the day, it's only you, right?
Yep, that's right.
Now, for all of our viewers and fans and everybody else, where will they find Kaysha Lee?
You can find Kaysha Lee currently in Montreal for the next 24 hours. But you can find me online, www.kayshalee.com. You want to see me in person soon, October 1st at Harlem Restaurant in Toronto, 67 Richmond Street. I'll be doing a showcase. It will be from 7 to 11. And yeah, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. Twitter, Kaysha Lee Tweets, Facebook, I think it's just Kaysha Lee or Miss Kaysha Lee. Kaysha Lee Music, Reverb Nation Kaysha Lee Music, YouTube Kaysha Lee Music. But all the links to all my sites are at www.kayshalee.com, and you'll see my events and etc. there as well.
Perfect. Well, it was great having this little chat with you. Get to know a little bit more about you and where you're going and what you're all about.
Yeah, exactly.
And respect and bless up.
Okay, bless up.
All right.